What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. In today's episode, we will be extending into the deep dive series by taking a look at the Pokemon known as Torterra. In this series, we take a look at the Pokemon from a raid perspective, PvP perspective, and then more recently going up against Team Rocket grunts if it is applicable. I'm always trying to adjust this series moving forward to provide as much value as possible to answer the simple questions. Is this Pokemon worth powering up? Is this Pokemon worth unlocking a secondary charge move? And then simply talking about how good it is from the different perspectives so you know exactly what you want to do with this Pokemon as well as your resources. Anyways, I hope you do enjoy this video. If you do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Torterra with a max AP of 2,934. Torterra is a dual type Pokemon of grass as well as the ground typing. Taking a look at Torterra Stats, these rankings are going to include Generation 5 Pokemon since they are so close to being introduced. You're seeing that Torterra has the best stat of its stamina ranked at 80th, and its worst stat is its attack stat ranked at 183rd, and overall ranking though of 77th. But keep in mind though, although it does have a low attack stat, it does have the legacy move Frenzy Plant, which is the best grass type move, so it is going to pick up in performance a little bit from that, mostly because a lot of Pokemon that are good don't have access to such a great move. But beyond that, we have some flexibility with Earthquake also providing a stab benefit. Unfortunately though, when you take a look at those fast moves, we don't have any type of ground move set, unfortunately. So Torterra is kind of stuck in this spot where even if you wanted to use it from a different perspective, you're kind of in trouble with it. It's destined to be at least the most successful from the grass typing. So now that we're talking about Torterra, let's go ahead and get into some raid results. I decided to go ahead and pull up a performance based on two different setups. The first one is going to be versus a Golem. I think that versus this Pokemon, a lot of people would expect it to perform very well, but as you can see with the overall performance, you're also going to be competing versus water type Pokemon in this case. And then if you go all the way down to the number 10 spot, you will see Torterra. Yes, it does technically beat Venusaur in this case specifically. At the same time though, it's in at that number 10 spot, so that's easily not an ideal situation that anybody wants to have. So I tried to go out and find other situations where it kind of picked up the slack and got the best performance possible, and I do think that this is going to be the one to do it. Versus an Omastar, we see Torterra get all the way up to the spot of number 7. That's right. It only gets beat by 6 different Pokemon, and what I like about this is it really does get it down to just the grass type Pokemon, and you're seeing other options in there that we don't necessarily talk about that much, like Exeggutor, and then of course the Alolan form of Exeggutor. But you're seeing that Torterra isn't necessarily going to have the best performance from the raid side, but I will say this. For the most part though, the better news is on this raid side, because when we switch over to PvP, Torterra is not ranked in any of the leagues. Even if it has the right stats, there's something else that's kind of going against it that's definitely worth talking about. The trouble stems from Torterra's typing. Because of it being the grass as well as ground, it does have quite a bit of weaknesses. 4 in total, definitely going to be an issue versus ice type. But then when you take a look at the resistances, they're not necessarily meaningful resistances. Electric, yes, you are definitely going to get some out of that. And then you've got ground and rock, but you're kind of missing a lot of them. And when you're talking about just general PvP, you do want to have a lot of resistances. And then even if you are in a situation where you would be super effective against a particular Pokemon, I think that a lot of other options are going to clearly outpace a Torterra, unfortunately. I think Venusaur is honestly a little bit too much of a clone in regards to the stats, and because of its moveset as well as the different typing, a lot of people are probably going to go on that Venusaur, go on that Meganium type route over Torterra, which is a little bit unfortunate. So let's go ahead and answer some of the questions. If the data that we talked about didn't answer it, here you go. Torterra is not worth powering up in Pokemon Go. Maybe in the future if it got some type of moveset update specifically related to that ground typing, like a ground type quick move, it could provide some flexibility. Of course, not going to be the best from the raid side, but it could do a little bit better from the PvP perspective. So you could go from it from a grass route on the raid, and then maybe potentially from that ground on the PvP in like a really low league. that's going to be the best potential for it. And as far as unlocking a secondary charge move, I mean, if you're going to do it, you definitely want to go with Earthquake so you can get that stab benefit. And I guess for now, the good thing is that you're not going to have to be able to switch over your quick moves or anything like that, since you don't have a ground type quick move. So you could just go with the grass quick move and then go with Frenzied Plant and Earthquake. You would be set, but I would not recommend it as far as performance is concerned. Anyways, I hope you did enjoy this video. I want to know what you think about Torterra in the comment section below. Do you plan on powering one up? Do you plan on using one? Do you want to use it from the raid perspective, PvP, or maybe even potentially from the Team Rocket grunts? In this case, I couldn't find anything useful for it, but I would absolutely love to know what you think about it in the comment section below, and I will see you next time. If you want to develop a deeper connection, I would highly recommend you to check out Patreon. We've got a lot of really cool things going on over there. Check out all of these supporters that we have. We are almost up to 100. We are also posting some special content, some behind the scenes work. And if that is the type of thing that interests you, I would highly recommend you to check it out.